In a world of concrete jungles, what if a city of 21 million people decided to become a forest? What if the relentless march of urbanization could be bent towards nature, creating a metropolis that breathes? This isn't science fiction. This is the audacious experiment unfolding in the heart of China. A city that is rewriting the rules of what it means to be a megacity. We are about to journey into the story of China's most ambitious urban dream, a place of ancient history and hyper-modern ambition. If you are fascinated by the future of our cities and the clash of tradition and technology, do yourself a favor and subscribe to the channel, making sure to activate notifications. You are not going to want to miss a moment of this exploration. This is Chengdu, the city aspiring to become a park. Nestled within a cradle of scenic mountains lies the impossibly fertile basin of Sichuan province, a land synonymous with agricultural plenty. Its very name conjures images of vibrant markets and the legendary communal ritual of spicy hot pot, where the numbing tingle of Sichuan peppercorns and the fiery embrace of chili oil define a world-famous cuisine. At its center stands a capital that defies the turbulent currents of Chinese history. For over 3,000 years, Chengdu has remained here, a constant anchor, the only major city in China to keep its name and its location unchanged through the rise and fall of empires, republics, and revolutions. It's a living museum where the echoes of the past resonate on streets bustling with the energy of the future. By the Sichuan century BC, this was already one of the planet's largest urban centers, thriving civilization of over 350,000 souls. A millennium later, a revolutionary concept was born here. The world's first widely circulated paper money, an innovation that would forever change the face of global commerce. But history is a cycle of peaks and troughs. In the 1500s, tragedy struck. A devastating Mongol invasion swept through, so total in its destruction that the city's population was nearly erased from existence. For decades, Chengdu was a ghost town, its once thriving avenues so deserted that wild tigers were said to stalk the empty streets, reclaiming the land for nature. Yet the soil of Sichuan was far too rich, its strategic position too vital to remain abandoned. A renaissance was sparked by developments in farming and the dawn of new trade with the West. A new cash crop, tobacco, drew millions of migrants from across the nation, pioneers and farmers who repopulate the basin and resurrected the city from its ashes. This spirit of resilience would define its modern era. During the Chinese Civil War in 1949, Chengdu became the final bastion for Chiang Kai-shek's Republic of China, the last mainland capital before the government's retreat to Taiwan. Though this status was fleeting, it drew a wave of loyal entrepreneurs, skilled workers, and brilliant academics. This crucial influx of talent laid the groundwork, founding the industries and institutions that cement Chengdu's role today as the undisputed cultural and economic powerhouse of southwest China. The turn of the millennium marked another pivotal moment. In the year 2000, Beijing initiated its monumental Go West campaign, a strategic push to bridge the vast wealth gap between its glittering coast and its underdeveloped interior. For Chengdu, an already established metropolis, this policy was rocket fuel. Its population has since doubled, transforming it into one of China's most dynamic and magnetic urban hubs. The skyline tells the story. Between 2010 and 2022 alone, an astonishing 105 skyscrapers piercing over 100 miles were erected, launching Chengdu into the top ranks of the world's tallest cities. But vertical growth is happening all across China. What makes Chengdu's story unique is the radical decision that accompanied this boom. While building up, local officials began carving out immense spaces for green. They set aside vast tracts of land for parks, greenways, and public sports facilities. Driven by a powerful mandate to make this high-density city one of the most livable on Earth, President Xi Jinping himself designated it as China's official Park City Demonstration Area. To achieve this, municipal leaders sought global expertise, even consulting with the United Nations on how to weave ecological design into the very fabric of the city to solve its most urgent problems. The ultimate vision is breathtaking: to build the world's largest continuous network of paths by 2050. This involves dedicating a 500-meter wide green corridor on both sides of its main ring highway, a project that will ultimately yield 188 square kilometers of parkland. Instead of surrendering to the dominance of the automobile, every new highway and overpass project included space for people, for parks and paths that make walking and cycling safer, easier, and more beautiful. Concrete support pillars are draped in flowing ivy. Bridges are designed as architectural statements, and polluted waterways are being systematically cleaned and restored. But every grand vision has its shadow, and in Chengdu, that shadow is colossal. The downside to China's build first, ask questions later. Philosophy is that unchecked ambition can curdle into staggering excess. Chengdu is home to perhaps the world's most flagrant example, the New Century Global Center, built by billionaire Deng Hong. This 18 million square foot behemoth is by floor area the largest building ever constructed by humanity. It's a monument, to sheer scale, containing not one but two shopping malls, a sprawling water park featuring a 150-meter artificial horizon screen, countless offices, a university complex, an Olympic-sized ice rink, IMAX cinemas, a replica Mediterranean village, and a 1,000-room hotel. It is a city within a city. Yet, on the eve of its grand opening in 2013, the story took a dark turn. Deng was arrested on corruption charges, part of a sweeping investigation that implicated dozens of local government officials. The existence of such a grotesquely oversized structure in a city now championed as a green utopia speaks volumes about the competing visions of progress clashing within the People's Republic. One vision that remains constant, however, is the national push to connect China's vast population centers. The strategy is to stitch the country's megacities together into integrated mega-regions, starting with the coastal powerhouses. Now that same ambition is focused on the interior. The grand plan is to fuse Chengdu with the basin's other megacity, Chongqing. From orbit, the land between them appears rural, but zoom in and a digital time-lapse of ambition unfolds. New highways, tunnels, and high-speed rail lines bloom across the landscape. The brand new Tianfu Airport, opened in 2021, is already on track to become one of China's busiest aviation hubs. One high-speed train already covers the 190-kilometer journey between the two cities in about an hour. A second, even faster line is now under construction. Yet, this explosive growth is pushing the region's natural limits. The air trapped by the surrounding mountains often hangs in a hazy shroud of particulate, a direct consequence of the millions of cars and machines powering this economic miracle. While a transition to electric vehicles offers a glimmer of hope, it exposes a deeper vulnerability. An overwhelming 80% of the region's electricity comes from hydropower. This overall was brutally exposed during a recent summer of record-breaking drought and heat waves. River levels plummeted, slashing Sichuan's power output in half, precisely when demand for air conditioning soared. The crisis forced authorities to implement rolling blackouts, shutting off power to homes and 16,000 industrial sites for days at a time. The fallout rippled globally with a 10-day work stoppage choking off the supply of critical parts for Tesla's Shanghai factory, a stark reminder of our interconnected, fragile world. With its water resources strained and its sprawl continuing, Chengdu faces an urgent race to diversify its energy supply. Failure could mean prolonged blackouts, crippling the very progress it seeks to showcase. Chengdu stands today as a fascinating paradox, a city reaching for a green future while wrestling with the consequences of its rapid ascent. It invites the world to see its famous pandas and enjoy its verdant parks. But it also asks a difficult question that every major city must eventually face. What is the true price of progress?